Ramen Rock Harper, an executive chef from Spotsylvania County, Virginia, was a contestant on the third season of Hell's Kitchen, and would arguably go on to be the face of the franchise when it comes to the old school era. And today, we'll be going over the entire run of Rock during his time in Hell's Kitchen, from important confessionals to all his moments from inside the kitchen and out. Here's a story of Rock Harper. As the case with a lot of winners, the premiere is a quiet one for Rock, although there's likely a big reason for this. It would start with the classic winner quote though, one of the few chefs to receive an opening montage quote, with him saying,
I'm definitely here for my wife and my kids, to lay a foundation for them for tomorrow, so I'm going to win.
However, a big reason why I think The Rock was so invisible this episode was due to the editors wanting the audience to forget about him as much as they could, as he would produce a horrible signature dish, becoming the first of many chefs to serve pre-made food to Ramsay, one of the biggest cardinal sins.
I'm excited you had time to make gnocchi.
I didn't have time to make it. It was frozen.
You served me frozen gnocchi.
It was a huge no-no. It was a big mistake. I just didn't execute my own freaking signature dish well.
As I said, the rest of the episode is a very quiet one for Rock, as while he is shown to be helping his teammates throughout service, no major service mistakes or highlights are shown from him. I will say though, the editors do their best to try to salvage Rock to the audience for this premiere, as they show him berating Vinny, the clear villain of the season thus far, when talking back to Ramsay, thus an easy way for the audience to get behind Rock.
You didn't want to show me, so what did you want me to do?
All I could think to myself was, please shut up. Who are you talking to? Are you serious? I couldn't believe it.
In the end, the blue team would win service, and that would be all for Rock's premiere. Again, not exactly the best of premieres for Rock, as while he did get some obvious winner moments from the edits and his service team fine, it's going to be extremely hard for him to bounce back from his terrible signature dish. Episode 2 would be quite the interesting episode for Rock following his disappointing premiere. It started off pretty badly once again at the reward challenge, as only one of his Dover Soul were accepted, leading the red team to their first challenge win of the season. However, before dinner service, we would see quite the duality from Rock, as he would support Aaron during his time of doubt, while at the same time, being really petty towards Josh.
I'm gonna call it quits.
You mean quits isn't tonight or quits isn't?
No, quits, this is it.
As in for good?
Yeah.
You're leaving us high and dry is what you're doing, Aaron. No,
You leaving us high and dry?
I'm not leaving you high and dry.
Exactly, he's staying. I like that. I like that. You staying. We have to support him and get through next dinner service. Let's go get him, baby.
Rock, what you on next, buddy?
Josh is trying to be so much more than he really is. He leads by, this.
Come on, guys. We gotta get this going.
However, in another good bit of editing to get the audience on Rock's side, he was proved right in both cases during service, as not only would he help his sinking teammates to prove he was a good leader and teammate, but one of those sinking teammates was Josh, affirming what Rock said about him earlier.
Waiting on you.
Waiting on me?
Give me a count. Give
No
me
problem.
Give me a count.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yes, chef.
I hope there's not raw pastry underneath there, you know that? Is it raw?
Yes, chef.
Oh.
With this performance, Rock would be named the best of the worst, the first for the blue team that season, and thus had the duty to put up 2 chefs for elimination that night. It seemed like it would be Aaron and Eddie, who have been the weakest links thus far, and Aaron even asked to be put up. However, at the ceremony,
Second nominee, and why?
My second nominee, Josh.
Josh.
in the end, Josh would survive, with Eddie getting the boot, ending a very interesting second episode for Rock, as he was shown to be a standout chef and leader, but at the same time, is also shown to have a bit of a villainous side to him, not putting up with a know-it-all like Josh, and even trying to get him sent home, which now sets up a potential rivalry between the two throughout the rest of the season. Episode 3, and the Josh and Rock rivalry would in fact carry over into this episode, as after the two begin the episode by settling their differences, Josh would once again try to be a leader, and Rock would once again be irritated by his attempts.
We're gonna take onions, we're gonna take the ends off, have them, put them here.
Who's taking the ends off? Josh is saying, I want to be the leader, but he doesn't have the know-how. Sometimes I just want to be like, Josh, do me a favor, shut the up.
Another big moment that happens before service would be that Aaron would get medevaced, and surprisingly, we wouldn't get any confessionals from Rock about this, despite the two seeming to be good friends, and Rock in general being a big supporter for Aaron. However, at dinner service, Rock would have his best service thus far, getting all the apps out and leading his team to victory, once again affirming he was a true leader over Josh.
Where's the risotto?
On the line, chef.
Rock.
Yes, chef.
Very nice, that risotto.
Thank you. Chef Ramsay doesn't know Rock is the real leader, and this will be a great time for me to prove it to him. 4 minutes, we ready. 1 scallop, 1 mullet, 2 langoustine. We ready? 4 minutes.
4 minutes, I'm with you, Rock, no problem.
Good. This is the first time I've heard you.
Yes, Chef.
I've never seen you move so fast. Let's go. Rock, best night so far. Do not stop.
So once again, an interesting episode for Rock, as while he's far and away the top contender simply in terms of talent, his edit is a bit rocky, so it will be interesting to see how his story shapes out now that we have a really good idea about who he is. Episode 4 begins with the blind taste test, of course a massive challenge for Ramsay, and Rock would prove he indeed had a good palate, getting a 2 out of 3. At dinner service, Rock would once again be a standout, once again earning the best of the worst title from Ramsay due to his performance.
You've got nothing on. Rock, he's on the appetizers.
Yes, Chef.
He's got nothing on this table.
Yes,
he
Chef.
should be cooking the scallops for you.
Yes, come over here and cook these,
Rock, you
please.
got it? No problem.
Thank you, Rock. Rock,
Yes, Chef.
you were solid. I felt presence. Nominate one from your team.
Yes, sir.
Since Rock only had to choose one person for elimination, he had to really debate on either choosing his rival Josh or the weak and arrogant Vinny, a tough choice on paper. But in reality, it wasn't a tough choice at all for Rock.
My nominee is Josh.
Josh.
I don't think he is an asset at this moment.
However, this would end up backfiring on Rock, as for the first time ever, Ramsay didn't even have the original nomination stand in front of him, overruling Rock's nominee, and chose Vinny himself, with Vinny ultimately being the one to get the boot. So again, another great episode for Rock all around, but it seems like he's so gung-ho on Josh that it's leading him to make some foolish decisions, and it'll be interesting to see if that backfires on him in the long run. As expected, episode 5 begins with the fallout from elimination, with Rock doing his best to justify to Josh his reasoning for blindsiding him for the second time.
You think I was off by nominating you?
Yes, 100%.
100%. I think that you try to go so fast sometimes, you trip yourself up.
Maybe I see it differently.
He doesn't have a chance unless I fall flat on my face, Brad falls flat on his face. I think he's maxed out.
At the reward challenge, the blue team would get a much-needed victory, in large part due to the red team being hell's bitches, and thus, the trio would get a chance to bond. When service came, we really didn't get anything from Rock in terms of good or bad moments, but we would get some big-time foreshadowing, as he had this to say about Melissa during service.
Then we have to bake it.
No, you chill after the bacon. Get it in the oven now. Go. She's overcomplicating, telling me what to do, and I don't see how that makes any sense. She's tripping over potatoes and carrots. If Melissa was on my team, a very dark side of me would come out. Don't ask me no more questions.
And as fate would have it, literally that same night, Ramsay would give Melissa one more chance on the blue team. And so now not only does Rock have an arch rival on his team, but he has to work with someone he clearly doesn't like.
I don't know what's gonna help me cope with Melissa. She's gonna lose. She might beat out Josh. She ain't beating out me, I'll tell you that for sure.
Episode 6, one of, if not the most infamous episode for Rock's Season 3 run, and it's not exactly for the best of reasons. At the reward challenge, the teams would have to make lobster dishes, and the winning team would get a photo shoot with In Touch magazine. The blue team would end up losing, and Rock, who believed this was solely due to the fact that women would be better for a photo shoot than men, completely lost it, in one of the most infamous angry reactions in Hell's Kitchen history.
I'm pissed off. That was the dumbest decision I've seen. You can go everywhere and get a lobster soup, a grilled bull salad with some apple. Be creative, and they get and win. Wasn't that creative over there, and we lose?
Does Rock always get that mad?
I've never seen Rock that man.
Never.
That was bull. You gotta go through trash? Go through them trash? If you don't like when I'm putting in trash, fire me then.
Despite this outburst, Rock would actually settle down by service, even helping Melissa at times, as she had an abysmal night, and the blue team in general were awful, as they were named losers, with no best or the worst even being named. Despite this, Rock's name is never brought up for elimination, as it's pretty clear Melissa's going home, with Ramsay himself not even wasting time, eliminating her without giving her a chance to plead her case. So we were given signs here and there throughout the season that Rock could be a bit short-tempered and fiery, but I don't think anyone could have expected the complete outburst he had this episode. And again, despite him still being far and away the favorite to win as we're nearing the Black Jackets, that's now another massive flaw in his edit, as it's hard to imagine a leader of a Gordon Ramsay restaurant acting this way. We're officially halfway through the competition now, as we started with 12 chefs, and now there are 6, and Rock is more determined than ever to keep up his performance. In fact, he would arguably have his best challenge performance thus far, beating Julia in the Leftovers challenge to win the blue team reward. Throughout the season, it seems as if Rock and Brad have had a pretty neutral to good relationship, especially compared to the likes of Melissa and Josh. However, that would take a massive 180 this episode, as Rock also began to take notice that Brad was thinking too highly of himself as a leader.
3 pan-seared scallops with a horseradish spetzel. Putting it out there, and it's a winner.
He was talking a lot. I'll say that. He was talking a lot. What about if we do a macaroni and cheese? It's real fancy.
We could do a little cassoulet. We call it a cassoulet, though.
Not a cassoulet. Call it macaroni and cheese and have it be something more elegant. It's macaroni and cheese.
We call it a cassoulet, though.
At service, while Rock once again wasn't shown to have any major issues, he was lambasted for not helping Josh for once, and in general, the blue and red team were named losers in the final team service of the season. So after an entire season of feuding with Josh, Rock can finally end it with him, as if he and Brad nominate Josh, he's a goner. However, at the nomination ceremony...
Brad, your team's nominee and why, please?
Chef, the team's nominee is myself.
Why?
They thought I took a little too much control over the menu.
Rock,
Yes, sir.
is that right?
Not exactly. He tried to take the leadership reins today. We think that led us to be unsuccessful.
Yep, despite Rock hating Josh, he realized that Brad was a far bigger threat than him, and thus nominated him in an attempt to get him out before the Black Jackets, and this would indeed happen. A very Micheal Wray type move from Rock here, which obviously isn't a bad thing, but again, a very villainous, and for that matter, shocking move from Rock after a huge part of his storyline this season has been wanting Josh out, ironically saving him when he was most in danger.
This is cutthroat. I have to do what I need to do to win. I can do it.
After the final 5 are initially all shocked at Brad's elimination, they are rewarded with their Black Jackets the next day, and Rock is now officially at the home stretch of the competition. In the first individual challenge, the chefs would have to make lunch for high schoolers, with Rock once again playing dirty in an attempt to win the challenge.
Remember, pink is nice, all right?
But don't vote for her. She's not that nice.
Unfortunately for him, Julia would be the one to come out on top, and she chose Jen to join her, ironically leaving him with Josh and Bonnie for the punishment, where Rock would actually bond with the latter despite doing her dirty at the challenge, setting up an interesting dynamic between the two going forward.
Apparently I'm the nanny, so...
I wonder, can we... no, you should know how.
I don't do laundry.
You don't do laundry, you don't change diapers. What do you do?
I'm a chef. I cook dinner for them every night, dumbass.
It's now the final 5 dinner service, not only an iconic one in Hell's Kitchen history, but a major point in Rock's story here, as this would far and away be his worst service, and arguably the worst service we had seen from an eventual winner up until this point. Despite Josh getting ejected before apps were even done, Rock made many mistakes on fish as well, and to make matters worse, had an attitude all night with the 3 ladies, and even Gordon himself.
Rock,
Yes, chef.
yeah, you yourself. Look at that, there, look, there you go. Is that what we serve in Hell's Kitchen?
Not at all, chef.
Is it not ready?
No, chef, I was just waiting on the turbo, chef.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Bonnie, we on the same team here? Or you trying to single yourself out? What's really going on?
1.5 minutes to the window, Rock.
Yes, Queen Jen.
Don't
Yes.
go until I say, okay? Because you're gonna me up.
My chef told me to come up there.
45 seconds, Rock. I called it.
Don't say nothing else to me, please.
Why are you acting like this? You're 30 years old.
Well, you stop acting like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Who just threw that food down there like that? You may be pissed off, but I'm down here screwed.
I'm not pissed off at all. I'm having a great time, chef. Yes.
If I performed like you, I'd be pissed off.
That's the ice cream base. You could just put it over there if you could. On the sink.
You don't jump when you say jump,
Stop,
princess.
stop.
Who you think you're talking to?
Stop.
Big man, big man.
Big man? Shut the up.
So yeah, not only is this a terrible look for Rock to have his worst service come at a time where Ramsay wants you to shine the most, but again, just not a good attitude or general effort shown at all. A very unprofessional performance considering the circumstances. Now we would get a bit of redemption from Rock, as he would admit his anger had gotten the best of him, and luckily, was able to survive over Julia. But yeah, despite moving up 2 spots, this was an abysmal episode for Rock both performance and edit wise, as his service and attitude was putrid, and while the edit did give him some redemption, not only did he survive over the fan favorite Julia, but he's going up against two very likable ladies in Jen and Bonnie, who had to deal with this attitude this episode, and thus, that leads to the question, has all this foreshadowing about Rock's attitude finally led to a downfall as we head into the final three?
I'm really excited to be here. I mean, top 3, that means Chef Ramsay does see something in me, and it's up to me to bring it out. It's only up to Rock. This is Rock's restaurant to lose.
After an emotional day, Rock immediately 180s from last episode, apologizing for his actions, talking highly of the fan favorite Julia, and the audience even got some background on who he was as a person.
I apologize for what I said, what I did. Can we hug?
I am a firm believer in trying to clear the air. I learned that through, messing up with my wife. I'm really sad that Julia's gone, and she was an inspiration to me, and I felt proud of her. This was a sad moment for everybody today.
Really want. He's come from such a poor background and he's had to work so hard for everything. Yeah.
I feel so fortunate to be in this position, to be in the top 3. There's only 2 more people that I have to outlast.
What a start to the episode for Rock here, immediately getting some redemption, and with this bit of background information, the audience can finally sympathize with him on why he can sometimes act the way he does. At the reward challenge, the chefs had to turn a random canned ingredient to a gourmet dish, with Rock getting stuck with spaghetti. In a cool twist, the judges of this challenge would be the final 3's moms, and while Rock's dish was praised, Jen would be the one to come out on top. At the punishment, while it wouldn't be quite as bad as last episode, Rock and Bonnie would tussle even more about what to do, once again setting up a very interesting dynamic between them, especially if they do end up being the final 2.
Okay, I'm good at making beds.
Making beds?
Yeah.
Making beds is so minimal on this list.
She says she's a nanny. You don't clean this, you don't clean that. What do you do?
I'm a personal chef, and I do a little bit of babysitting, basically.
It wasn't that bad chilling with Bonnie. She's a diva and a drama queen.
Rock,
What?
I'm hungry.
Eat! And she's a boss, see?
Rock, where the hell are you?
It was all right, but it was just a long day.
I have low energy.
Stop talking. You might have a little more energy. Just be quiet for a minute.
I'm hungry.
When Jen returns, the final 3 would get some practice running the pass with Ramsay before actually doing so, which was good for Rock, as he was very awkward at first.
Give it to me.
What's wrong with you? Why is this? Why do we have this here?
Can I cook it again?
Absolutely. You should have cooked it right. What you gonna give me this time?
You've got no idea how stupid you just sounded. That was dull.
When the time came for Rock to run the pass, while he was still a bit quiet, especially for an executive chef, he was able to control service fairly well, and even caught his sabotaged dish.
2 scallop, 1 mullet, 1 langoustine.
Monkfish up.
Thank you, monkfish. What happened to Scott? What happened to the ham? It comes with ham. You're not supposed to take it off.
Oh, sorry, chef. Nobody told me.
Good. You're on the hot plate. I want to hear you, yes?
Dessert pickup, please. 1 scallop, 1 langoustine.
Rock was a little slow. He has been an executive chef, so I think he should be better.
Your fingers are slow as Come on, let's go. Come on, it's 2 scallops. Come on, get another plan out. Come on.
Wellington, monkfish, turbo, and a squab medium.
Yes, chef.
Service, please. Let's go.
Really good.
Well done. Back to your section.
Thank you.
While this performance wasn't amazing or anything, it certainly seemed better than Jen and Bonnie's, with Rock even taking note of their struggles during service. Nonetheless, it's all in the hands of Ramsay now, and after dominating all season and slipping up last service, will his past performance be enough to get him into the final 2?
And my decision is... Rock, you've got to go into the final.
Scare me like that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bonnie would be the other chef to make it to the finale, best case scenario storyline-wise, as the two certainly have had beef in the little time they've truly known each other, and now, this quote nanny is all that stands in the way of Rock winning his own restaurant. It's now the finale, and Rock is one service away from having his life change forever, and would use his family as motivation, as Ramsay surprised the final 2 with them after Jen's elimination.
That was beautiful, it hit me right here. I had my good luck charm, and they appeared. Everything that I do right now is for my family.
You miss your daddy?
We would then get a full circle scene between Rock and Bonnie that also summed up both their runs in HK, as Bonnie didn't think Rock would take her seriously, especially after the conflicts the two had. But Rock, similar to the audience, had grown to see how talented Bonnie truly was, and was not about to take her lightly.
When we first came in, I said, it's gonna be me and Melissa in the finals.
People don't take me seriously, and then when they realize that I'm a force to be reckoned with, it's too late.
It's too late? You think it's too late for me?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's dangerous, and I could lose to her.
You're gonna beat me too.
Whole thing is setting up, so I lose to a nanny.
Again, as the usual case with old school seasons, the first half of the finale is pretty boring, as a good portion of it involves the final two setting up how they want their side of the kitchen to look, along with the final reward challenge of the season. Bonnie would end up winning the reward challenge, but honestly, this may have been a blessing in disguise for Rock, as he ended up with all the guys while Bonnie had all the girls, and while on paper Bonnie had the more talented brigade, there was a clear outlier in her kitchen that was more so on Rock's side.
My final selection is Julia. I want my girls back.
Good.
On a personal level, I would have to say that I'm rooting for Rock.
Julia, I think, is better than Josh, but who knows how her emotions are going to play out. I don't want to be dealing with that tonight.
This is really the first time we would see someone act this way towards being picked by a certain chef for the finale, and thus, it creates a very interesting dynamic before the finale dinner service. Speaking of interesting dynamic, despite being reunited with his boys, Vinny was just a flat-out douchebag in general, and it's very likely that both Brad and Josh had hard feelings towards Rock after his villains played towards the two this season. But both would give it their all this service, with Rock even giving Josh a pep talk beforehand, showing Shirley just how much this meant to him.
I'll do anything to win tonight, even if I got to tell Josh specifically which way to walk and, you know, what to do.
Josh,
Yeah.
walk with me for a second, please. You know how to cook, just cook. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't put you on a difficult station. I trust you, trust yourself.
I think this is a great look for Rock, as despite all three of these men having reasons to not give it their all this service, they truly did try their best, which goes to show the level of respect Rock had in the competition. But of course, none of that really matters now, as if Rock can't control his team or service, he'll lose out on his own restaurant. So, now time for the biggest service of Rock's life. How will he do?
Come on, let's go.
Ready? It's 35 seconds to the window.
Beautiful, 30 seconds. Burger's about to be ready.
Burger's all ready. Coming right up. Coming down. Coming down.
Both teams get their appetizers out at the same time.
Josh,
Yes.
what is this? What is that? Josh, look. Look at that one, and look at that one. Give me another one, quickly.
1 minute, Rock. 1 minute.
I need in 30 seconds.
Coming in 1 minute.
And 2 seconds with me, now. Hey, listen, you're halfway through service and you're thinking this early on, that guy is screwing your restaurant. Make a decision because you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah. Josh, stop. Over here, come over here. Stop. Come over here. So I switched. I said, Vinny, get over on fish. Josh, get over here. All we doing is heating stuff up over here. Finish strong.
30 is cleared for desserts now.
Come on, 5 tickets. Let's go, let's push. Don't freak out. It's just food, it's what we do. Service, please. That's the last check.
It really was a rocky night for both the final two, but in the end, a very good finale night all around, and it really is a toss-up for Ramsey. Rock bonded with Bonnie beforehand, and was even pretty sure he lost to her. In the end, though, Ramsey would call both the two up to his office to crown a winner. So it all comes down to this. Will Rock's up and down journey end with his own restaurant and $250,000, or will he be undone by the nanny?
3. Rough. Take your time. Hold your head up high.
This is just so big for me and my family. I just won. Thank God I just won. I owe everything I do for my family. It shows my son, shows my daughter that if you really stick your mind to something, you can do it.
He's a very confident cook, and he has become a really good leader.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Hell's Kitchen winner, Rock!
So let's go over Rock's ride in Hell's Kitchen, as it was a pretty interesting one. While not as blatant as Heather the previous season, he was far and away the best chef throughout the season, having many standout services and hardly making any mistakes, and while his leadership wasn't as dominant as you would hope for, it obviously was enough to get the job done. What makes Rock's win so interesting though, and for that matter, not super obvious, is his edit. He really was a mixture of Michael and Heather, as while he was heroic for being a great chef and helping his teammates no matter what he thought of them, he wasn't afraid to play dirty, attempting and screwing over Josh and Brad respectively, and had plenty of fiery moments throughout the season, with the In Touch magazine outrage still being likely the angriest reaction ever. But what I find most interesting is the dynamic between him and Bonnie at the end, as the show was clearly setting up this final two pair, and while Around the Black Jackets was when Rock was at his worst performance and edit-wise, Bonnie was at her best, and while in some ways it was circumstantial, it really did get you to believe that maybe, just maybe, Rock's anger would get the best of him, and the nanny who he didn't take seriously would be the one to come out on top. So in the end, a very interesting run for Rock here, as he definitely had his ups and downs, pounds, but when it's all said and done, he would go down as one of the most iconic winners and chefs in the show's history. So there you have it, guys, the story of Rock Harper. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as these videos take a long time to make, and the support would mean so much. Let me know what you think of Rock in the comments below, along with some other chefs you'd like to see story videos from. With all that said, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Get out of there.